Man, what's happening, my peeps? American Black Enterprise, dog. The one and only Bigelowski. Here for your infotainment needs. Yo, appreciate y'all checking in. Now, y'all know I don't really get into the politics stuff, but I am a what you call a Southern conservative. I would like to say, man. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm sporting my guy Parlay, Michael Jordan hoodie. You can get it at his website, Parlay. I am what you would call a black conservative, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't like putting myself in a box like that. I like to look at being a black American as not being a political, um, not being a politicized group. That's why I'm looking at it from perspective of that. All right, this is gonna be Larry Elder on the Breakfast Club.
Wake that ass up in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Larry Elder, welcome, brother.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
He does more than that, though. I mean, he's a radio host, author, TV
author,
host.
New York Times best-selling list. I got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
My man Larry Elder said, "Give him his props, give him his roses."
Yeah, I think it's you, Elvis Duran,
Angie
Howard
Martinez.
Stern,
Yeah.
Big Boy. Oh,
Angie
Angie Martinez.
A guy named Arthur Godfrey. Well, I'm running as an America First mega guy, and we have an America First mega guy, running,
Okay.
obviously. So the question
I can
is,
dig
what
that.
do you bring to the table?
I like America.
Mega.
Okay.
70% of black kids today enter the world without a father in the home, married to the mother, up from 25% back in 1965. Now 25% of white kids enter the world today without a father in the home.
Man, that statistic is skewed. Come on, man. Like, if you want to talk to the Black Americans, you want to get Black Americans. Don't insult our intelligence. All right, we know exactly what that stat mean. All right, they're not in the home, they're not married. That's 70%. But that does not mean the Black fathers are not involved, bro. Black people. I think the CDC did a study they released. Black fathers are vastly more involved than any other group. Any other group. You starting off bad, Larry. Come on, I'm trying to pick your brain. I'm trying to be on your side. Come on.
Married to the mother. And the stats are clear. Even Barack Obama once cited them. Poor and commit crime, 9 times more
That's
likely
true.
to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end
If
up
you're
in
raised
jail.
without
What's
a
happening?
dad,
In the mid 60s, with I think the best of
that's not the
intentions, a
statistic
Democrat
he
named
was.
Lyndon
You know what?
Johnson launched what he called the war on poverty. But the left doesn't talk about it because they caused it with the welfare state, and our side does not talk about it because if you're white, you'll be accused of dissing single moms who are heroically raising these kids, or you'll be accused of being a racist, or if you're black, you'll be accused, as I was by the LA Times, of being the black face of white supremacy. Nobody's talking about that. I am.
I agree
What
with
are the
that.
reasons?
I agree. Not
you
enough
know,
people is
if
talking
your
about it.
statistics are right. What is?
But don't act like it's a political football. He said 14% of black people live underneath the poverty line. I thought it was more than that. Only 14%. Let's check it out, man. Because I really go by folks' word. I would rather look it up for myself. All right. In 2021, 19.5% of black people living in the United States were living below the poverty line. This compared to 8.2% of white. So, I mean, he wasn't too far off.
Tell me what you think the number one systemic example of systemic racism is in America.
Oh man, there's so many.
Just give me the most important one you think.
But at the top of mind, I probably maybe say mass incarceration. Maybe.
Really? During
All right, let me help you out, Charlemagne. The medical field, the education, in some parts of this country, policing, and this is coming from a prior LEO, banking, real estate.
there's a direct.
I'm not going to. I agree with the family part. I'm a black man who is a father to his children, and I'm
Right.
a happily married
Right.
black man to a black woman. So I'm never going to argue with that part.
Mhm. The 3 biggest cities in America are New York, Chicago, LA. They all have black mayors, even though no city has a majority of black population. The president of Harvard is a black female. Martin Luther King in 1966, Charlemagne. I'm amazed.
President at Harvard is a black female. Claudia Gay is a born 19. They don't even know what year she's born. Look at that. They don't even know. Oh man, they don't even know what year she's born, and that tells you all you need to know right there about if she's an immigrant or not. She ain't black. A political student, president of early education, grew up, child of Haitian immigrants. All right, so she's not black, Mr. Elder.
2008. He didn't say there'll be a black female president of Harvard, and there has been. He didn't say they're going to be black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and there have been several. He didn't say the percentage of the House would equal the percentage.
Okay. White
well,
Democrats,
most black people were Democrats, and they voted for these white people.
Not
too.
voters. I said who's in charge of the system.
Well, who puts them in charge?
Was Lyndon Johnson white or black?
Who put them in charge?
Maybe that'll help.
Fine. Lyndon Johnson was white. 1% of blacks lived under the poverty line. 1960, that number had fallen to 47%. That's a 40-point drop in 20 years. That's the greatest 20-year period of economic expansion for black people in the history of America. Again, well before Brown versus Board of Education, well before the cake every time. Look, the Tulsa massacre, within about 5 years, that whole area was rebuilt. It was not even called the Black Wall Street until after it was rebuilt. It was rebuilt, by the way, by black people without one dime of government money. About it. We've had race riots, but so have Japanese.
So you do agree that there's race?
Good job, black people, for rebuilding your city that was bombed. Good job. See, I told you, black people can do it. You can rebuild your city that was bombed without help.
Was a house, right? But my father,
because of you and the drive, because of you and the drive you put into
did
him.
Not own houses.
Because of you and the drive you put into him.
We're not gonna have a conversation.
You're not even appreciating what you've done to your son.
I'm just asking when we talk about it, right?
Getting rowdy.
For our community to get loans, right? And not just because of credit scores. It's because
you seem to pick and choose.
I'm talking about the
real superstar.
Talking about the rate.
Whatever it is. The bottom line is it's more white people than it is black people. And so
compared with about 11% of white and 10% of Asian applicants with same credit scores. And that's Washington Post, since you love numbers so much, and I know you do love numbers. That's coming from the Washington Post. That's 2023, not 1995.
I can show you a study that says the opposite.
Rudy Giuliani.
Well, hey, where is it at then?
Show everybody.
I would have said Envy.
They all had fathers.
Well, show it. We got time.
How did that happen? Mr. Elder, Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and I'm pretty sure everybody who just caught a RICO with him in Georgia, they all had fathers. They still ended up in jail. How did that happen?
Oh, come on, that's anecdotal.
Nobody said if you have a father. You
See, I'm being impartial here. I'm not biased on any side. Come on, that was a dumb question, Charlamagne. You could do better than that. Come on, dude. Oh man, that was a weak.
You were going to jail. My father never.
But guess what you did say, Mr. Elder? I'm sorry, respectfully.
May I answer? Age of 47, my dad saved his nickels and dimes from his job. Starts a small restaurant near downtown LA. Fast forward, he retires in his 80s. He owned that restaurant. He owned property next door, plus the house.
Now here, young Larry. Now make sure when you get old, you do everything the white man say. Okay, you make sure when he stick his boots out, you need to get the licking. Okay, Larry. And I'm telling you now, when I'm in this restaurant, you better not be talking about to no white folks, Larry. All right, don't be there. You dare not talk about no racism, Larry.
That's still in our family. Not too shabby for somebody who did not know his biological father. It's not a child on your own. Even Tupac Shakur said, "I know for a fact." Tupac, excuse me. I know for a fact.
Well,
he got arrested, is what I'm saying.
He's
going to get arrested.
He got indicted, in my opinion.
So man, just move along, bro. Just move on.
DOJ has a double standard. They let Hillary pass. I find it interesting that the Democrats are the ones complaining about Florida. This is a party of slavery. Democrats. The party of the Southern Manifesto.
All these Republicans talk about these
days. The party of Dred Scott. The party that I said earlier, just ensure the proper history of.
Now, it's gotten to the point where if we're having a political discussion about politics, if you even bring up Democrats or the Republicans, it's almost instantly like it's like a cutoff, almost like, yeah, the Republicans is this and that, such. What is your political agenda? I'm asking you, what's your agenda? What do you want to be done? But yet you're too busy talking about what somebody else is doing. Like, I didn't even ask about that. But the Democrats, the Republicans. Larry Elder, how do you feel about abortion? The Democrats. Like, come on, man. Like, tell me what you want, all right? Without bringing up somebody else.
Slavery is taught. I don't know anybody who's defending slavery. Anybody. Not Ron DeSantis. He's not defending.
People benefited from slavery.
Chicago, 0% of the kids can do math at grade level.
He's good at telling us the problems. That's
school choice. While the party elites, whether it's Barack Obama,
how you gonna fix them, Larry?
Gavin Newsom or Joe Biden, have their own kids in private school.
Somebody from our community vote for you.
It's like a news reporter.
Why should a black person vote for you?
Because I'm telling the truth. And reparations. By the way, Barack Obama never supported reparations. Nobody called him anti-black. We need to talk about what's going on. What's going on is the breakdown of the family. And most of the things we talk about downstream, whether it's crime or whether it's bad schools,
you don't support reparations. Fuck you, Larry.
Of the nuclear intact family, and we
don't
talk enough about it. example, slavery could not have existed had it not been for African chieftains who were selling black slaves captured in battle or captured through raids and selling them to European and Arab slavers. It could not have existed without that. So everybody has dirty hands here. That's why reparations is such a.
That's the truth, man. But listen, man, white people bought them. White people capitalized the most, and then also they engaged in what is called chattel slavery. Chattel slavery is when you not only enslave the parents, but then you enslave the kids. You breed them with the intention of slaving them. So you can't give all the credit to the Africans.
A foolish thing. If you're going to get reparations from the 5% or so of white people that have some sort of generational,
it's like crazy,
and that's all there is, then you need to go back to Africa and get money from African countries that were involved in the slave trade
we're going to do
the Arab slave trade. And by the way, the Arab slave trade was even worse than the European slave trade.
Larry, we're talking about America. Okay.
And the men were castrated. Only about 5.
So
there's no end. There'll be no end to this because slavery has been part of human history from the very beginning.
Okay,
we getting money.
All right, so Larry's trying to answer, Teslin. Come on now.
Let you talk, sir. I've let you talk, and every time I talk, you begin to talk, and then you say, "Let you finish." So I asked you a very simple question. You said, "If you're going to go after it in America, go after it in Africa."
Racist.
Really?
How do you explain that?
Charlamagne,
Donald Trump really increased the percentage of black votes Republican Party got?
Sometimes people make.
So why are you running against Trump then, Mr. Elder?
Yeah,
I'm not running against him. I'm running. He pardoned Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion. Even Barack Obama didn't do that. Yeah, he did an extraordinary job for black people, or Barack Obama, or for Joe Biden, and any.
He did a lot for black people. He pardoned Jack Johnson, who's by the way dead right now. So thank you.
Case, no matter whether he had indictments or no indictments.
No Trump hate. No, I'm not hating on
the
Trump.
Tax and regulate liberals.
You're a conservative, right? Obviously.
No question.
Gotcha.
It's okay.
Gotcha. Question.
I expect you to.
Yeah,
but
I'm a little slow sometimes.
Moment,
I didn't expect you to. Wow.
One moment you're complaining about the system, and the next minute you're saying the system is fair. The next
of the schools in the city and in the county, to the majority of city council in that city, all of them are black, and you're still saying that we don't run anything.
So who's in charge of the system?
No. I said who created the system. I didn't say we didn't run anything. I challenged a lot of those black leaders, by the way.
Oh, wait a minute now, Teslin. Come on now. I like you, Teslin, but you did say who runs it.
I said who created the system. I didn't say we didn't run anything. I challenged a lot of those.
You
black
did say
leaders,
run
by
it.
the way. I said who.
You threw me off with that one. I'm sorry.
Blackface in a position in the conservative movement. They're just the same. They're just on the other.
Are the very black and brown people living in the inner city?
I like Teslin, man, but she got to step it up, man. Her last couple of interviews, she kind of been liking a little bit, man. She's supposed to be this great debater, political strategist, trainer. She does training in Atlanta. Shout out to
there's a Larry Krasner is a George Soros backed DA.
You tell women what to do with their bodies.
Well, that is a moral issue. I happen to be pro-life, and I believe that.
Come on, Charlamagne, you can't do
better.
Charlamagne, come on, dog. He suck, man. Like a Black American issue is not abortion. This is a Black syndicated radio station. Okay, it's supposed to be intended for Black American audiences. Black Americans are not in favor of abortion. Okay, he should know that. Why are you talking to this man about women's rights and abortions when that's not even a top priority for Black Americans? It's not our top priority.
Is a sin. That's not telling women what to do with their body. That's expressing my opinion.
Most Black Americans do not believe in abortion.
Opinion about whether or not it is right or it is wrong. For example, there is a guy right now behind bars in Philadelphia named Dr. Kermit Gosnell. He is an abortion doctor who performed late-term abortions.
You ever heard of the term nigga wake-up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutal.
A person of color. A person of color. It's called a nigga wake-up call. So what other group besides Black people would that involve? But yet you're saying an all-inclusive term like person of color. Asians aren't getting nigga wake-up calls. Mexicans aren't getting nigga wake-up calls. Charlamagne, what the fuck?
Brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Oh, brother.
I'm just asking.
Man.
You think
I
he does?
need-
Well,
I
I'm
need to take me
acutely
a sip of
aware,
some water too,
Charlemagne,
man,
that I'm
on
a
that.
black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying,
Mhm.
you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you got to think a certain, talked about how he didn't want integration because of a jungle. This guy has made all sorts of
Absolutely.
insulting things to black people, and his policies right now are hurting black people. Inflation hurts
Yo.
the people at the bottom more than anything else, letting a bunch of illegal aliens.
Yo, Larry is cooking right now. Larry is cooking, man. Look at this nigga right now, bro. What the fuck, man? Come on, Charlemagne. You ain't get better prepared. Who wrote these questions for you, Charlemagne? Was it your intern? Was it Becky, a white intern? Was it a little tether? You in New York? It's probably like a little Somalian chick or something wrote these fucking questions. Charlemagne,
hurting black.
I like Charlemagne, but he ain't ready for this one. You know what? Charlemagne, I lost respect for Charlemagne during this interview.
Black people more than anybody else, as I said earlier. He's opposed to school choice, and he has his own kids in private school.
Like, there's a lot of things that Republicans are doing.
Well, what about
Who the fuck cares about trainees, bro? Bro, they're fucked up in the head. They have mental issues. Nobody gives a fuck about not black people. Nobody gives a fuck if what a white person puts on a damn dress. A white man, bro. That's not my main priority when I'm going to the voting booth, man. That's not what I'm thinking about on a daily basis. That's what they call a dinner table issue. That's not that, bro. What black families out there are thinking about fucking white men with dresses on parading in the fucking streets with their fucking... Nobody thinking about that shit, bro. We thinking about jobs, grants for businesses, black-owned businesses. We're thinking about distribution and logistics and opening up trade. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking about the medical field, crime. We think about crime. We think about policing, all sorts of issues out there. Man, I don't give a damn about these white people. They call us, what's your pronouns? I don't give a damn about none of that. Most black people do not. Stop wasting our time, bro.
What about Joe Biden going to Howard University, as he did recently, giving a commencement speech, Charlemagne? And he said the number one threat to the homeland was white supremacy. Really? The
FBI said that.
The Anti-Defamation League keeps track of how many people are killed by extremists, no matter the race of the extremists, every year.
Why are they talking to us about the Hispanics? Why you even bring up the Hispanics to black people?
When it grew at a rate faster, and they both told me that I was wrong, and that they would have the data on my desk by Monday. That was 15 years ago. I know the mail is slow, but it seems to me they should have given it to me by now. Again, Donald Trump presided over the best economy ever for black people, lowest unemployment. And it seems to me the number one reason that most people vote is because of the economy. We have had 40-year historic high. And
to be fair, I think Joe Biden and what Joe Biden has did to African Americans, particularly with the war on drugs, was one of the worst things that actually happened to black people. Just to put that on the record, he too.
Thank you.
That system that I'm talking.
Thank you, Teslin.
About Democrats as well. I just try to stay balanced to say that same system goes, it applies on both sides. Democrats and Republicans helped with mass incarceration. Joe Biden led it, wrote it. So we have no problem. Or I have no problem condemning him as
against another person.
That's not true.
That wasn't what I was talking about.
That's not true. Hold on, wait a minute. He said most people are behind bars for violent crime. Hold on, that is not
talking
true.
About nonviolent crimes, particularly the war on drugs. I was very clear in what I said.
Most people are not behind bars for using drugs or for dealing drugs. They're behind bars for having committed a violent act against another person.
That is not true.
But that wasn't what I was talking about. I was very clear.
Nearly 3/4, 72% of prisoners are serving time for nonviolent offenses. See, real-time fact checking. We're going to get to the facts. Impartial and real-time live, get to the facts. 72%.
You're just all over the place, Mr. Elder, but it's okay.
More blacks are involved in crack cocaine. More whites are involved in powder. More whites are involved in meth than blacks.
I get what Larry's
saying. Category of the drug you're talking.
I get what Larry's saying. Teslin is saying the system. I don't think she's lying.
Several minutes.
Hey man, well, hey, there you go, Larry Elder, dog. You know, I ain't mad at the guy, even though fuck him because he doesn't want reparations. You gotta have reparations, Larry. So can't vote for you on that, but he's not talking to the people. I don't see a lot of candidates like, hey, I'm for you, this and that. All I see is a lot of blaming, a lot of political football, the Democrats, Republicans, Democrats, Republicans, Democrats, Republicans. Then you slide in a lot of Prager U think tank formulated talking points and whatever ideas you think you may have. I know he's getting paid for it, which at American Black Enterprise here, any black man getting their money, salute. You know, it could be worse. He could be a drug dealer selling crack in his own community, causing people to get sick and destroying families and stuff. So, but instead, he's been a mouthpiece in Coonan. But hey, listen, you would like there to be more traditional black families? I can't argue with you on that. I don't want to. You know, I would like that as well. But man, listen, dog. If y'all like the content, if y'all disagree with what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if you want me to continue doing these live reactions. And y'all have a good day. Appreciate it.